Yeah, now let's continue for what is the answer for question number 6?
Um, I think it's A.
So A, it's a correct yes.
Right, correct answer.
And number 7.
I don't know if this is correct, but I think it's A2.
Now number 7, it's not A. Let's try again. Remember he said here the main purpose. Come on. Yeah, now let's see all the answers. Do we have any details about A to provide details about how she identifies which piece she will perform? Yeah, the main focus here it's not about that. But I see here a lot of details about that she is actually prepared for the performing and she feels relaxed when she is under stress. As he mentioned here, her willingness to take risk, she feel. And he mentioned here apparent ease. And he said this is business because due to a tremendous amount of preparation. And already she has virtuosity and experience. So it does not support A at all. So we don't have more details about A. Imagine. So A it's not. Here for letter B to assert that performance look effortless. But you didn't mention that. So it's not mentioned. Now to discuss the kind of music feels most comfortable. This is right. For the first time. So she feels most comfortable when she's countering for the first time, and that is correct because she had experience and she had strong preparation. So see it's supported. You see. Now here let's see some details. So it could be C. Now for letter D, to describe the unique way that Agrit approaches music she has not performed. Do we describe that she has distinguished or distinctive way? No. Now we need to check, is this C correct or B or letter A? Which one is supported? So it must be here B or C or what? For me, I see
C.
it could be. Yeah, why not? Why not to be B?
Because it's effortless.
Yeah, right. But remember, he said the performance look effortless. It means it does not take effort. And as he mentioned here, remember, effortless means without effort. And she mentioned that. As he mentioned, she never takes for granted that she knows a piece of music and she feels relaxed and natural. It means just like the performer does not take effort because of how she prepares for them. So B, it could be. But the problem for letter C is the half of the answer is correct. Here to discuss the kinds of music, says all the paragraph about she discusses, or the narrator or the writer discusses kinds of music? No. You see? But here to mention about the performance look effortless. So a lot of information about the performance. So the answer it must be letter B.
B.
So yeah, this is be careful of the trap of the half of the answer is correct. How about number 8? What did you answer?
Number 8. Is it C?
And number 8, no. We need to read again. He said the function of the underlined. Let's go to the right. So now for letter A, we have a trap. What's it? The half of the answer is correct. All of this part, it's correct. But that characteristic should usually be regarded as flaw. He didn't mention that this characteristic is a flaw or a mistake or misunderstanding or misconception or anything. We don't have any information about the characteristic is flaw. That is means here the half of the answer is correct. For letter B, it suggested that if not for a certain aspect of his character, Israel might not have been as easily thwarted in his ambition to establish a farm. So what does that mean? So thwarted, as you know, just like he's going to continue to achieve his ambitions despite difficulties. As he mentioned, however brave-hearted and even much of a dare Evan seems nevertheless to have evinced throughout my parts of his career a singular patience and mindfulness. Do you imagine? And here he said Israel was obliged to look around for other means, ways of livelihood than clearing out a farm for himself in the wilderness. So that is means here he does not feel that he is limited to achieve his ambition, but he is in progress. So little b maybe. Remember, I'm looking for any mistake or out of mention content in the answers. It shows the underlined why Israel would not have been able to undertake the enormous amount of labor. You didn't mention that here. This information describe who is Israel, more about his character. And we don't have any information about this part that he is not able to undertake. So this means out of content of the paragraph. Or the underline. It explains why, when the situation requires it, Israel is able to undertake courageous acts that others would generally avoid. That is means yes, he's going to go to take courageous action, but this part not mentioned. So letter D is wrong.
So it's B.
So it must be letter B. That's all. Feel it? Yes. And of course, we have that some information to tell that he did a lot to achieve as a daredevil upon a pinch, you see, and just many parts of his career and singular patience and mildness. So he did a lot to achieve his ambitions, and this is pharma. So this is one, it's related. That's one. How about your answer for 9? What did you do?
I think it's D.
And the letter D, it's correct. Great work. Come on, number 10. Yeah, what is number 10?
I'm stuck between two answers. Is it? I think yeah, it's D, yeah, B.
So, all right. So you were sure that about A and the C,
Wrong.
you think
It's
it's
wrong.
wrong. Now let's
Yeah.
revise again to check any reason to prove why B or letter D. Always read the question carefully. I said the main idea. What is most information described in the paragraph about?
It's D. It's
So it's
more
a,
described.
so it's a letter D. Now let's find any evidence for the main phrases or main clauses. So Medina, Kaidi, and her team tested some pluralistic light sources. So they tested and then learned. And the learned means he discovered, found. Not learn means they were learning as students. Some details about how the ballistic artist traveled within dark caves. Do we have any information here? Let's
No.
find. So to understand how, look, how did they navigated, how they traveled? Look, the keywords. So to understand the blah, 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 blah here, so they did it. So her team tested. So archaeologists. As you know, here we have present infinitive phrase. So who is going to understand this one? If it's the subject. This is support you to know who did it. Do you catch it?
Yeah.
So they tested. Now we have information. They used the technique. How did they find the information? And then they learned. Found it? That's it. And we have some key words, like transition words to help us. Like, for example, so we have some, always the test maker sometimes use common expressions like that. We're reluctant to do something. So all the answer is correct, but this is part is not. They didn't refuse. How? They tested, they learned, and they wanted to understand. So that's opposite. Do you imagine? Now, why B is wrong? So they or her team discovered that Pellicer cave artists in Spain used the animal fat lamps more than they used them. So do we have comparison? Or they said the animal fat lamps were less useful than torches. So it's not about the amount of using or not. Feel it? So that means the comparison is not mentioned. But all the words mention the text, but this comparison not. That means be not supported. You did your best. Number 11.
Number 11. I didn't really understand how to solve this.
This is something so easy. He said complete the statement. So we have a statement. Let's see what is the statement exactly. A student is using the table, this one, as part of a social studies classroom presentation on the US auto industry in the early 20th century. Okay, but now focus on the sentence of your question. The students note that according to the table from what happened. So we need information already mentioned on the table. So your job is check all the information. Do you imagine? Now let's prove it one by one, and let's prove together why it's correct. It says the number of cars produced increased, so the number increased. Let's go to check. The number increased from this year to this year. Number of cars produced increased. Oh, yes. But wait, the second part. The number of companies producing a car decreased.
Yes.
The number decreased. Oh, yes. That just means it's A. That's why. If you are sure in the exam about letter A and already in front of you, you can have just first look about the other ones. Both the numbers produced remained unchanged. How without looking, I don't know from A, I know it's not changed. So it's wrong. The number decreased by the number here decreased, wrong. So don't read the second part. Both of them, the number increased, no. That means A, but very quickly. This is called easy questions because the content easy, the table easy, and the answers very simple. That's why we call it easy graded question. For number 12, what's yours? Number 12. And do you hear me well?
I'm sorry, wait, it's glitching a bit. For number 12, I put A.
So number 12, it's A correct. Come on, what is next?
For 13, 1 second, my mom's calling me.
Did you find it? Let's do it together. Always read the question carefully. It said we need a statement or information to support, not weaken, support the underlying
is it
claim. So letter A. So letter A, it's correct. Yeah, you can say your answer. If it's correct, we'll skip it. If it's wrong, we'll re-answer again.
Okay.
Right?
So A is correct?
Yeah, it's A correct. Yes, as he mentioned here, they also showcase the diverse media through which artists have depicted, and the letter A it's supported. Included drawings, painted photographs, sculptures, textures. So all of these support the underlined. Feel like that means sometime. What means the support? Support, we need examples, need evidence, need quotation, we need something related to the underlined only. If you read letter B, we'll find something else. Included works by fewer than 2,000 artists, whereas with the underline does not focus about the comparisons of numbers or amount of words. You see, but showcases the diverse media through which artists have depicted. So artists depicted a lot of diverse media. So what do you need to support it? We need examples of this diverse media, not the comparison between the artist or the number of works. So it's out of target of a question. That's why. All right, you did that. Number 14, what's yours?
Is it B?
14B, no. Why not read again? Now read the question carefully to know what you need. So we need data from the graph that support the conclusion. The first step is to read very quickly to find where is the conclusion. So you will read very quickly and then we'll find the conclusion here. But let's read. While or through reading, memorize the most important information. For example, to investigate potential cognitive benefits of taking leave from work. So who is going to do that? Psychologists and colleagues conducted a 6-month study of Australian university staff members who took no leave from work during the study. And they took 4 days out of leave or took 1 to 5 weeks of leave. This is tells you what is the method of testing. Okay. Now tests of attentiveness were administered. So the tests were administered. Take care of the vocab because later in the structure of vocab will test you is it managed or administered or taken or executed. So always memorize. So tests administered to the participant 3 times during the study, and then information to tell you what happened during the study at random for the no leave stuff, for the rest 1 week before the leave and 1 week following the return to. It tells you what happened in the method or in the way of experimentation. Now, after analyzing the results, the researchers concluded. So that is the conclusion. So we need something from the table to support this conclusion only. Now, longer leave times might not confer a greater cognitive benefits. So longer leave does not give you greater cognitive. This is surprising. You see? So we call it, it's like an expectations here. Let's see, now we need something here to tell us longer, but no more benefits. You imagine it? And now let's see, read, see, and guess. In both the second and the third test, second and the third, administration, okay. Participants who took 2 to 4 days, 2 to 4 days, so which one must be this one, of leave had higher, you see, average attentiveness scores than participants 1 to 5. So 1 to 5, so it's higher or not? Yes, it's higher. And here, higher or not? Higher. You see who took 1 to 5 weeks. So yes, the information here, it's correct. Feel it?
Yes.
That is why. Now let's check how, you see, short time. You see how short time. Well, here it's days, here it's weeks. How short time give me more benefits than longer times? Must be the opposite. But this is idea support what? The conclusion. So now, did I need all of this information? No, just only to understand what's going on. But to find the relationship and always find the comparison. What is higher? What is larger? What is less? What is lesser? And to focus on the negative words. For example, none, not, never, scarcely, barely, at least, at most. All of this can help you to understand the comparisons. That's why. Feel it? That is great. Now, what is 15?
I did not solve 15. I solved until 14 but
But all the test was homework for you. Why you didn't answer it? So,
all of it. I had school stuff. I had other stuff to do.
all
That's
right,
why.
but you still have a lot of time to manage it at home. You must keep at least 2 or 3 hours for your international digital set. Really important. And today we need to increase the amount of study. So wait for a lot collections of papers to do today. So right now, let's invest our time and to read. Let's read together. Always read the content. It may seem that the optimal strategy for an animal pursuing prey or escaping predators is to move. So what is the optimum strategy? Is to move at maximal speed. But he said that it may seem. He said here, but, and I told you always focus on the but, the information after the but. You see, after, however, after though, why? Because it is the main point. The energy expense of exploiting full speed capacity can disfavor such a strategy. Here mean just like to prove this strategy is wrong, even in escape context, as evidenced by the fact that, so we need a fact to prove this idea. Imagine it. So what do you need from the table? What do you need from the answer? Anything to tell you that. If you find the answer not related or opposite to this content, wrong. Any answer opposite to the graph or the chart or whatever it is, wrong. If you look carefully, you will find this is escaping. Look, escaping here, pursuing. So look for this is one, for escaping. Look for pursuing. This is the maximum speed.
Is it B?
So you think it's B,
Yeah.
and then B is correct.
Okay.
Now is it easy or hard?
No, it's easy.
Now let's wait, check. Multiple lizard species move at an average of less than, this means not maximum, of their maximal speed while escaping predations. So this means less than, yes, most of them less than. This one, it could be near to the maximum, but all of them use less than. That's why. That is correct. How about 16? Let's read it together quickly. Always read the question first to know what are you looking for. Support the hypothesis. So we need to highlight the hypothesis. What is it? Now let's go to read. What do you think?
I think it's I don't I think it's D, but I don't know. I think it's wrong, but same
But
time
letter D, it is correct.
really?
Yes? Why?
No? Yeah.
What is hypothesis? This is the first step. That's why from the first reading, you must find. As you mentioned here, this is to hypothesize this one. That's it. So we need any information to support these details. Do you imagine it? Now he said, analysis of water's molecular structure under high pressure reveals that what? Hydrogen bonds are more stable when this is present than when it is not. So that means this is one helps the hydrogen bonds to be more stable. That is the hypothesis that this is one reduces compressibility. You found it because he said here high extreme stabilized and decompresses water structure. So what it compresses, it makes for this is material to penetrate or enter the protein of the organisms. But this make it unstable. But that means this is material, it's useful. Feel it? That's why, as he mentioned here, a positive correlation between death that various inhabit and the concentration of this compound. So positive correlation between them, if this is material is useful. So, right, you did your best. How about 17?
Is it A or D? One of them. Because okay, I think it's A. There's I think two of answers, but the answer I go with is A.
You think it's A, but remember he said here the correct characteristics would have made sustained flight difficult and the walking was comfortable. So how can we conclude that it's a flow for long distances? He said here make the flight difficult already. So they discovered the structure of the head and the body does not make it ready to fly. So this is part is wrong. Had longer wings, he said short wings.
It flew for a short distance, يعني it's D.
So it must be letter D.
Yeah.
That's why. Feel it? Sometimes we give you answer, it's not mentioned already. So here, what means complete? He said, based on these findings, what can we conclude? We conclude facts based on facts, not guessing. Feel it? For example, here he said, for this part is knowing for having an enormously oversized head crest, which means anonymously. It's from the word normal, and we have and to tell you it's opposite. That means just like it's like exceptionally. It's not normally. Do you feel it? All right, but this is explained here. But he said examining. And something else can help you. He said these findings. So focus on the findings. Where is the sentence of the findings? Examining the team determined. So my focus must be on this part. Feel it? This part only. So when I'm going to check my answer, I must check this part. All of this part will give you some details about this part of findings as the underlined, as the question says. Feel it? So the last sentence of the complete is very important. You did your best. For number 18, let's read very quickly. Now let me help you. It must be letter B. So consumers in their 20s, less
It's
than. Do you have any information to support that? Yes. Study participants in their 20s rated phone social much less positively than did in other groups. Do you imagine it? Related or not? When he said here, based on these findings, okay, so he said this finding, and what is a finding? This is a finding. So your focus must be on this sentence only, because he said based on this finding. And what is the finding already? So I am looking for the finding in the answers. That's it. Did he mention that in the